I really think we're going to get along, don't you?
Swimmingly.
This holiday season, he'll be flushed, frightened, fried.
They call me Shocky.
And why do they call you that?
Oh! Frog.
He's a madman! Run away!
Pardon me, my fly's undone.
And frog.
Is it a bird?
Is it a plane?
Is that guy wearing my underpants?
From the creators of Shrek, Flushed Away.
Rated PG.
Starts November 3rd.
While more Americans own homes than ever before, many don't realize there may be a better mortgage for them, or that they could simply save a lot of money on the current mortgage that they're paying on right now. Best-selling author David Bach believes that real estate is the easiest route to wealth, and he explains why in his newest book, The Automatic Millionaire Homeowner. And he's back for a second day. David, good to see you again.
Good to be back. Thank you.
All right. So now you have this plan that people can pay off their mortgage early and save thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
This sounds too good to be
This is called the Automatic Millionaire Mortgage Approach. Okay, here's what you do. Anybody who's got a mortgage needs to stop what they're doing and listen right now, because I can save you tens of thousands of dollars. If you've got a 30-year mortgage, I don't want you to pay your mortgage for 30 years.
Okay.
I've got an approach that will get you out of debt in less than 23 years. Here's what you do. You go back to your bank today and you say the following words. I want a bi-weekly mortgage plan.
Bi-weekly mortgage plan.
Here's what it is. You take your mortgage payment. Let's say it's $1,000 a month, as a simple example. Instead of paying it once a month, you pay half, $500, every 2 weeks. When you pay your mortgage this way, you make one extra payment a year, and you take a 30-year mortgage and you shave it down to 23 years. Saving 7 years on your mortgage. Now, we have a great example here. Let's show this example of a $300,000
Yeah, if you have a $300,000 mortgage.
If you have a $300,000 mortgage at 7% interest, your payment would be $1,995.
Okay.
If you went to your bank and said, give me a bi-weekly mortgage, they don't change anything. It's just the way you pay it. $997 every 2 weeks. You will have that mortgage paid off in 23 years. Now, look at the savings here. The savings on that $300,000 mortgage is $106,000.
That's great. That's real money.
That is real money. Now, here's what this does for most people. Most people who pay their mortgage off early retire early if they want to. It buys you freedom. Now, what's the trick to this? Couple things you need to know. There's a cost to do it. The banks will charge you anywhere from $5 to $10 on average a month.
And is that what keeps some folks from doing it?
That's what keeps a lot of folks from doing it. Now, here's the crazy thing. If you really look at the money over 23 years, it's going to cost you somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500 to do this.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a latte a month.
But aren't you saving $106,000?
You're saving $106,000. Now, if you don't want to pay the fee, there's a couple other approaches. You can make one extra payment a year, but most people won't, because when they get to the end of the year, they don't have the money. Or you can add an extra 10% a month towards your principal. But again, most people won't. Less than 3% of Americans prepay their mortgages.
Well, let me ask you this question. Do you have to stipulate that this additional money go toward the principal?
You do, but when you do a biweekly mortgage, they do it for you automatically. And the other key is that most people are paid every 2 weeks. So this is a cash flow thing. It makes it easier to pay your mortgage. Also, you won't have late fees because they're taking the money automatically out of your checking account. They're applying it to your mortgage, and they track this to make sure that it goes towards your principal. So again, all you have to do, call your bank, see if they offer a bi-weekly payment plan. You're not changing your mortgage. You're just changing the way you pay your mortgage.
We touched on this just a little bit yesterday. You talked about your home as forced savings. I think a lot of people might say, well, this is a great idea if I'm going to be in this home for 30 years. What if you're not? Should you still do it?
You absolutely should still do it. And here's why. Most Americans stay in a home at least 7 years. When you put money into that principal payment, when you pay those principal down, you're just building up your savings account. So when you sell your home, that equity goes with you to your next house and makes it easier to buy your second home.
You also say that we should really, from time to time, examine the type of mortgage we have.
This is critical. Many Americans have mortgages right now and they don't know what's in them. Here's what we've got hundreds of billions of dollars in adjustable rate mortgages. You got to pull your statement out, find out, when is my mortgage coming due? What's the rate going to be? What will it adjust to? A lot of people, millions quite frankly, have done interest-only adjustable rate mortgages. When these rates come due in 2007 and 2008, many Americans will find themselves seeing their mortgage payments go up by 50% or more.
And you say in the book that a lot of those folks are not going to be able to stay in their homes.
They may not be able to, which is why I'm telling you right now, anybody who's watching this show needs to pull out their mortgage statement, know when their rate adjusts, call their mortgage advisor, and really look at what's going on in their mortgage. Because most people, the most important decision they ever made was to buy their home, but they don't really know what their mortgage is right now.
Does that mean they should refinance then?
Here's some things you can do if you're concerned about this. One, lock the rate longer. Refinance and lock your rate right now for 7 years or 10 years or even 30 years. We're still at very, very low rates. Second thing is know your credit, because your credit score is going to determine what your rate is when you go to refinance. A lot of people a couple years ago had great credit. Now they've been late on their credit cards.
Because they thought, I've already got my home, I don't need to. They've just been sort of lax about it.
They did everything right to go get their mortgage, and then maybe they got a little bit lazier, they just got late, and now their credit scores have dipped maybe 50 or 100 points, and they think, well, I'll just refinance. Well, guess what? If you go to refinance with lower credit, you're going to have a hard time getting a good rate. So go pull your credit scores. Again, pull out those mortgage statements and pull your credit scores, and even go back to the bank and just kind of check in and say, listen, again, when does my rate adjust? And if it adjusted today, what would it cost? Sit down, have a conversation if you're married and say, are we in good shape? Can we really afford this?
You hear that, honey? Yes. We'll be having this conversation. It's a great concept, and anything that saves $106,000, I'm all for.
Yeah, the Automatic Known Homeowner book was about giving people simple ideas that they can use quickly.
Yeah.
In less than a few minutes to change their life.
You got it.